Hello and welcome. Have you ever found yourself gazing into a glass of tonic water, perhaps with a delicate slice of lime floating on top, and wondered what exactly makes this drink so unique? It presents itself as a simple, clear soda, yet it holds a certain mystique that sets it apart. Here's a fascinating secret. If you happen to have a UV light handy, you'll discover that tonic water glows with a vibrant, almost magical blue light. But beyond this captivating party trick, what is the real story behind tonic water? Is it merely a sophisticated mixer for your favorite cocktail? Or does its name, tonic, imply something more? And the most pressing question of all, is it actually good for you? To uncover the truth, we must embark on a journey back in time to the 17th century, deep within the majestic Andes Mountains of South America. This is where the heart of our story lies, with a truly remarkable tree known as the cinchona tree. The bark of this tree harbored a powerful and life-saving secret, a compound called quinine. The discovery of quinine is shrouded in legend, with the most popular tale telling of an Andean man suffering from a raging fever who stumbled upon a stagnant pool of water at the foot of a cinchona tree. Desperate, he drank the bitter water, and miraculously, his fever subsided. He was cured. The fever he suffered from was no ordinary illness. It was malaria, a devastating disease that had claimed millions of lives and continued to ravage populations in the humid, tropical regions of the world. The knowledge of the cinchona bark's healing properties was a closely guarded secret of the indigenous peoples of the Andes for generations. They understood its power and used it to treat fevers long before it was known to the rest of the world. It wasn't until the 17th century that Jesuit missionaries in Peru learned of this incredible natural remedy and began to document its effects. They sent samples of the bark back to Europe, where it quickly gained a reputation as a miracle cure for malaria, then known as the Roman fever. The demand for cinchona bark skyrocketed, and it became an incredibly valuable commodity, sparking a fierce competition to control its supply. The Spanish, who controlled the Andean territories, established a strict monopoly on the cinchona trade, making the bark worth its weight in gold. Now, let's fast forward to the 19th century. The British Empire was at the height of its power, with its influence stretching across the globe. However, this expansion came at a great cost. In tropical colonies like India and parts of Africa, British soldiers, officials, and their families were falling victim to malaria at an alarming rate. The disease was a major obstacle to colonial expansion, and the British knew they needed a solution. Quinine became their lifeline. It was a potent anti-malarial, capable of both preventing and treating the disease. But there was a significant problem. Pure quinine is incredibly, almost unbearably bitter. Imagine the most bitter substance you have ever tasted, and then multiply that bitterness by 100. It was a medicine that people dreaded taking.
So what did these resourceful British colonists do? They got creative. To make their daily dose of quinine more palatable, they began mixing the bitter powder with water, a generous amount of sugar, and a squeeze of lime to cut through the bitterness. And just like that, the very first version of tonic water was born. It was a simple yet ingenious solution to a major problem. But the story doesn't end there. It wasn't long before someone, likely a British officer stationed in India, had an even brighter idea. Why not add a splash of gin to the mix? The addition of gin not only helped to mask the bitterness of the quinine even further, but it also created a rather pleasant and refreshing beverage. And that, my friends, is how the iconic gin and tonic, a drink that has become synonymous with colonial life and leisurely afternoons, came to be. It wasn't just a cocktail, it was a daily medicinal ritual, a symbol of British ingenuity and a vital tool in the expansion of the empire. But let's bring our story into the present day. If you walk into any supermarket, you'll find a wide variety of tonic waters lining the shelves. Take a closer look at the ingredients label, and you'll still see quinine listed.
However, and this is the crucial difference, the amount of quinine in modern tonic water is drastically, almost comically lower than the medicinal doses used in the past. We're talking about a tiny fraction, typically around 83 milligrams per liter. This is just enough to impart that characteristic bitter edge that tonic water is known for, but it is nowhere near enough to have any therapeutic effect. It will not prevent or treat malaria, nor will it cure any other ailment. So, if it's no longer a malaria cure, what exactly is modern tonic water? Well, for the most part, it's a soda. It's carbonated water, a hint of quinine for flavor, and a significant amount of sugar. And I mean a significant amount. Take a moment to check the nutritional information on the label of your favorite tonic water. You might be surprised to find that many popular brands contain as much, if not more, sugar than a typical can of cola. This high sugar content is, in fact, the biggest health consideration for most people when it comes to tonic water. Consuming all those empty calories and sugar can have a negative impact on your blood sugar levels and overall metabolic health, especially if you're drinking it on a regular basis. Now, you may have heard some people claim that drinking tonic water can help with leg cramps. While it is true that quinine was historically used for this purpose, the FDA has issued a warning against the use of quinine for leg cramps due to the potential for serious side effects. And once again, the amount of quinine in tonic water is far too low to be effective anyway. In very rare instances, consuming large quantities of quinine, even from tonic water, can lead to a condition known as cinchonism, which can cause symptoms like tinnitus, a ringing in the ears, nausea, and headaches. However, for the vast majority of people, the tiny amount of quinine in your gin and tonic is completely harmless. The real health concern for most of us is the sugar. So, what is the final verdict on tonic water? It is a drink with a truly fascinating and world-changing history, born out of a desperate need to combat a deadly disease and fueled by the expansion of an empire. It is a testament to human ingenuity and our ability to find creative solutions to complex problems. But today, while it still retains its unique bitter flavor and that captivating glowing property, it is, for all intents and purposes, a sugary soft drink. It is not a health tonic, and it will not cure what ails you. So, enjoy it for its complex taste, enjoy it for its rich history, and enjoy it responsibly. Cheers to the bittersweet truth of tonic water.